To everything there is a season, a time to every purpose under the heaven, a time to be born and a time to die.
Yet in my flesh shall I see God. In mine eyes shall behold and not another. We brought nothing to this world.
And I'm Jamal's mom. You know, it's hard to talk about him, but I'm gonna do my best.
After Jamal was born, was at the hospital, and the doctor called me down to the delivery room and said, Mr. Dunn, got a surprise for you. So I was like, okay, this is your son. I'm like, okay. And like when you have a son, it's like, first thing run through your head is like, okay, got me on baseball, football players. So I called my mother and father. They came up to the hospital, and they had put Jamal in the, what's that other thing, the little viewing area where they have all the babies. Of course, my mom was like, that's your son right there? I said, yes, ma'am. She said, you look like a little white baby. So my father was like, nah, he looks just like him. So my mom was like, see, like, he look like a little white baby. So the next day, I went back up to the hospital. My mom, my two sisters, and Clarissa's two sisters there. So Clarissa was telling me that the nurse said, okay, we got to name the baby. Of course, I said, Willie Jr. and everybody was like, no. So I said, okay. So I got to thinking. And I always liked this guy. He played basketball for UCLA. Yeah, Jamal Willis. I said, how about Jamal? Everybody was like, okay, we like that. So then, like, we need a middle name. So Clarissa came up with Marcellus. I didn't like Marcellus too much.
The Lord give it, and the Lord take it away.
I know one day I was out shopping. I think I had went to a bakery, and this little boy, this lady came in with her little boy, and I thought that he was the handsomest little boy that I had ever seen, and his name was Jamal. And when I saw him, and she said that, I said, "Oh," I said, that's what I'm gonna name my child. If I have a boy, I'm gonna name him Jamal, just because that little boy was so handsome. And then his middle name is Marcellus. His middle name was Marcellus, and where I got that name was watching Roots. When when they said one of the characters in there, his name was Marcellus, and when they said his name, I thought that was just such a odd and a distinct name, and it just fit so well with Jamal. So I said, yeah, that's gonna be his middle name. And I thought that his name just fit him so well.
Majority of his time he was at my mother's house, so he was brought up mostly at my mom's house. Not taking anything away from his mom, but my mom and dad, they had clinged to him and fell in love with him, so till he just spent most of his time with them.
I I never talked to him about this, but it happened. I remember when he would come over on the weekend and and stay with me, and the little girl that lived right across the hall from us, she was like just like crazy about Jamal. So he come over and they always playing together. So one day they was over there playing, so all of a sudden it just got like real quiet. So me being a parent, I'm saying, okay, it's quiet enough. I want to ease around the corner, see what they doing. So when I eased around the corner, the little girl like kisses on the mouth. So I said, okay. So I eased back around in my room. I came out. What y'all doing in there? So I came and like I never told him this before that I seen this.
I had to be, in a way, the mother and the father because I was there with him all the time. And I regret not doing some things with him, and sometimes I was tired and I didn't do a lot of things that I thought later that I should have done, but I felt that I had to be. I think that I was kind of a tough parent because he was male, and when he was little, the doctor told me that he was gonna be between 6'4" and 6'6", but he didn't never get that tall. But I said, well, right now is the time that I'm gonna have to start grooming him and let him know that I'm the parent and he's the child.
Sometimes Jamal would call me and, hey, auntie, what you doing? Oh, I might be sewing or I might be cooking, but whatever, I tell him what I'm doing, and we just get to talking. And, we would just really talk about a little of everything. And I remember one time I was talking to him about sex, and he just started laughing. He just could not believe the things that I was telling him, but I wanted him to know that once he get married, the things that he need to do in order to keep his marriage together, and so I was just telling him some good old sex stories.
But he just always remind me of a cartoon character. I don't know which one. When I look at him, I just want to start laughing because he just kind of like a comedian. He makes me laugh a lot.
Jamal was he was raised in Decatur, Georgia, and he was raised in a childhood home where I had grown up. And for a long time, it was just him and I.
When Jamal got to middle school, I worked at the same middle school. I was a teacher at the same middle school that he attended. So by the time he got to 8th grade, I was teaching 8th grade science, and we had a pretty small school. So I taught him. And his cousin, his first cousin, they were the same age, in the same grade. That was a little awkward. I really did not want to do it at all. I think I was a little more harder on him than I would have been had he not been in my class and related to me.
One Sunday he was telling me, he said, Dad, I got my first letter, football letter. I said, oh, really? He said, yeah. He said, from UCLA. I said, Jamal, UCLA? I said, that's probably for a football camp or something like that. And I remember saying, no, Dad, this is a real letter from the coach.
I've had some challenges in my life, in my marriage, and with things, all those things going on, and Jamal going to school, and he got a full scholarship to go to Albany State University in Georgia, and he was so excited and so happy, and then he didn't meet all his requirements, and he lost his scholarship. And I was talking to him and telling him how tough life was, and me just being a general laborer. I told him, I said, you don't want that for your life. You want your life to be more fulfilling and to be able to do something that you love and that you enjoy. So don't give that up. And I said it's tough out here to find a job, and just do a job. I said you don't want that. And I think the proudest moment for me was when he decided to go back to school. Not only did he go, he finished, he graduated, he got his degree, and then he went back and he got his master's degree. Well, I'm telling you, I was just so proud of him. Proud of him. And I think he knew that.
Well done, thy good and faithful servant. Thou have been faithful over many things. So I know God is well pleased with his life. So that right there makes me happy, because when it's all said and done, I will see him again.
And all the people that he came in contact with, I think that, they were proud of him and they respected him, and he in turn encouraged them to do something other than what they were doing with their lives, even, like going back to school. And, and I guess they looked at him and said, well, if he could do it, I think I can do that too. And they even told him, how, that they were just proud of him. And to me, that's making a difference in somebody else's life, and letting them see that even though we might not have had, and he didn't have a lot of advantages that, a lot of his cousins did, a lot of things, he had to work for. And I think that when you work for and you earn things, that's when you're most proud of them. But when things are handed to you, it's just like you don't have anything to strive for. So he strived to be different, to be something, to be what he wanted to be. And he never gave up.